You've created a curriculum plan, curated book lists, and bought all the things. Delivery trucks have been stopping at your door, leaving you with piles of boxes holding oh so much homeschool promise. Right now, you're either super excited, feeling like you're in the home stretch, or seeing boxes of homeschool curriculum is leaving you feeling a bit overwhelmed with the work ahead. Or maybe you've got all those feelings fighting it out inside you. Well, let's take a tiny step back before you put your feet up, ready to relax, and before you have a full-blown panic attack. Let's talk about how you're going to lesson plan all that curriculum so that you are ready to go for the year. I'm Leslie Maddox, an engineer turned homeschool mom, and I want to help you customize your homeschool. If you're following along with the Homeschool Plan Decoded method of customizing your homeschool, you've seen the lesson planner video. In it, I touch on a few possible methods of lesson planning so that you could explore and choose an appropriate lesson planner for you. My number one recommendation for lesson planning is to create subject lesson plans that are independent of dates. The idea is that you plan each subject or objective by breaking down the curriculum for each subject into bite-sized daily activities. Most lesson planners have you break down the curriculum into daily activities by filling in a calendar and assigning each activity to a particular day. But when life happens, kids get sick, mom gets sick, you take an unexpected day off or even an unexpected week off, those types of lesson plan calendars tend to get out of whack. So I created subject lesson plan worksheets that allow you to write out your bite-sized daily lesson plans without initially assigning dates. You can always write in dates as you complete each daily assignment or simply check it off. But you'll always know what comes next. You'll find 4 subject lesson plan worksheets, along with an example page for each, in the Homeschool Plan Decoded Starter Kit. A link to the kit is down below. 2 of the subject lesson plan worksheets have boxes for 25 days of lessons, the other 2 with 50. The one you use for each subject will depend on how much space you'll need to fill in your activities. For example, if you only need enough room to enter pages to read, use the 50-day worksheets. Those have smaller boxes. But if you need room to enter more than one activity, use the 25-day worksheets. Print your choice of worksheets double-sided on cardstock if possible. You can use the 2 small shaded areas at the top of each box in a variety of ways, like school day number, like day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on, so that you know how many days of instruction you've planned for that subject. Or you could use the shaded boxes for the date your student completes that assignment, the grade they receive on it, a check mark to indicate that the assignment is completed, or you could even put a code in there like I for independent assignment and T for teacher-led assignment. You have options. If you choose not to use a starter kit, you can always use a spreadsheet, a Word document, or a notebook to document your list of daily activities. Your daily activities will depend on the curriculum. For reading, you may want to assign specific chapters or page numbers each day if your family needs more structured planning. Or for more flexible planning, your daily routine could include a certain amount of time reading out of an assigned book, like 30 minutes, with book reports to be completed when your student actually finishes a book. For workbooks, you may assign certain pages to be done each day. Or if your curriculum uses a sequence to label assignments like week 1, day 1, you could use that sequence in your subject plan. Some curricula actually tells your student what to do each day, so all you would have to do is update your weekly routine with the days that you want your student to actually work out of that curriculum. For example, the Apologia curriculum I've used in the past suggested lesson plans with an assignment schedule where the student completed explicitly defined activities twice a week. So all I had to do was assign Thursdays and Fridays as days that my son would complete those activities. As you create your subject lesson plans or adjust your weekly and daily routines to determine how you'll progress through all that shiny new curricula, refer back to your local legal requirements for homeschooling. If you're required to give a specific amount of instruction of certain subjects, be sure that your lesson plans accommodate those requirements. If you prefer even more flexible planning and just need a place to jot down ideas for learning activities around a specific topic, like for a unit study, you can use the Learning Ideas worksheet in the starter kit. For the ultimate of flexible planning, you may be taking an unschooling approach. If your student is using an unschooling approach to explore a particular subject, use the Learning Ideas worksheet to document your students' activities as they explore a topic or seek to answer a question. It could even give them ideas for ways to explore that topic. Or maybe instead of extremely flexible, you prefer to be extremely structured in your planning. In that case, you'll want to use a more traditional daily lesson planner or even the daily lesson plan worksheets I included in the starter kit. You'll still want to break your curriculum down into bite-sized chunks as you would do with subject planning, but you'll assign each of those bite-sized chunks to a particular day. This won't stop life from getting crazy, of course. So if you choose to do daily lesson planning and want to use a paper planner, I recommend that you create daily lesson plans for 1 week at a time, meaning that you would sit down 1 day a week to write down what learning activities you expect you and your students to do each day for the following week. If you're using a digital lesson planner like Homeschool Planet, it's easy to plan for the entire school year and simply shift the schedule if someone gets sick or if you take a day or a week off from school. If you really want to make lesson planning easy, use Homeschool Planet as your lesson planner and purchase lesson plans from their marketplace. You may have to make a couple of adjustments, but it can't get much easier than that. Finally, finalize your daily and weekly routines based on how you plan to use your curriculum. Your first couple of weeks of homeschool may not use your regular weekly or daily routines since you'd be wise to stagger the introduction of new curriculum over the first couple of weeks of school. We'll talk more about that in another video. For now, just finalize those daily and weekly routines, and then finalize your academic year so that you'll know, based on your lesson plans, when you expect your academic year to end. Believe me, you're going to want to know when that time comes close. You'll be ready for it. In the next Homeschool Plan Decoded video, we'll start talking about how to organize your homeschool and whether or not you really need a homeschool room. For now, remember that you can always access all of the videos in the Homeschool Plan Decoded method of planning and organizing your homeschool right now at the link below. And happy planning!